Well, we're back here in WowBiz, Nebraska. I'm Lynn Hinderaker, and this has been another power-packed show. Very educational at the front end. Don't miss this show on YouTube. And then, of course, some very interesting announcements about a new sponsorship called Nebraska Now. You've got to check that organization out. But I want to tell you something here. You know, as you look around the country and you try to figure out who's doing what and what's really meaningful, and is there something we should be doing similarly, and so on. And I've got here an article that was picked up just a couple of years ago, and I'll lift it up right now. It's just a black and white, so it's not particularly easy to read, but it says, smaller cities get hip. They're talking about how to attract young professionals to their small city, right? It could be Blair, it could be Nebraska City, it could be Beatrice, Fairbury, obviously Grand Island or Kearney. Any one of those communities could use more young professionals or young workers. They're surrounded by factories and distribution centers and so on, and yet when we try to get people to come to these communities, it's extremely difficult, and they have kind of a distorted idea about the state of Nebraska in particular and how they fit in. Because that's really a piece now. You know, you talk to these people privately, and they're very unclear about what they're trying to do, what their career should be, and will they fit into these communities like Beatrice and Fairbury? Will they get the attention that they need if they want to be an entrepreneur? Can they actually launch a company and get the resources together and the support in order to do that in these communities and in our state, all the way out to Ogallala and Scotts Bluff? These are reasonable questions, and we're not answering them very easily. When we see new law go into place or grants being issued and so on, we need to move quickly, and I mean now, to take advantage of those things. But as it turns out, we kind of drag our feet a little bit. We don't move quickly. We get the board of directors together. We talk about things, but we don't move quickly to take advantage of opportunities. In fact, what we really don't do is we don't understand or see trends that actually do, in fact, represent opportunity. That's the key right there. We're watching what's going on. We kind of maybe take a look at the news at night when we have a few minutes and so on. A lot of discussion, of course, about generative artificial intelligence. Only a small percentage of companies right now are actually using it, but a lot of executives will tell you they are interested, they want to know more, but they don't quite know how to come at it and how to leverage artificial intelligence. But that's not the only topic. That's not the only thing. For instance, coalitions and strategic alliances are increasingly important. Bringing in people from outside. You know, the smartest people in the world are not necessarily just the people on your membership or your employee roster or whatever. It used to feel that way. We have all the smartest people in this business, and they're all right here, and everything's great and so on. But that's all changed now. Many of these people want to work part-time over here, or they're freelancers over here. They're going to join some agency over there. And they're looking not just for the opportunity to excel and have a good time and so on, but they also want to create a moment that they feel is important. How do I say it? They're looking to create meaning. Let's put it that way. Now, when you talk to an HR person or a manager or a supervisor and they say, "What did you just say?" I say, well, they're looking for more meaning in their life. And you kind of have to begin with your career, and then there's relationships with people in your workforce, right? And they're this is the grist, so to speak, of the rationale why they're there. And you'll listen to them, their mouth will drop. They'll say, well, they're here, as I understand, because we're a good company, we take good care of our people, we pay them competitively, and there's really nothing more about the whole discussion than what I've just said right now. There's nothing more to it. So there's clearly a big diversity, a big segment between employees. And then, of course, we have another segment, which is remote workers, right? And, of course, the people that are at the office. Remote workers are a little bit nervous about the fact that the people that are going to the office every day are preferred by the CEO or the senior executives. It's easier to talk to them. They're in the hall and so on. All these other people, maybe 70% of the entire workforce, they're working at home in their offices or in the living room or whatever, but taking care of the dog, taking care of the children, getting them to school and so on. So there's a big division right there. And as a result of that, it's very difficult to have meetings and collaborate quickly, by the way, around particularly unusual things like innovation and so on. Should we launch a new product? Do we need to get these people in here more often? And of course, there's also these leaders of these large companies, and their attitude is either come to the office and stay here at least 3 to 4 days a week, or quit, just leave, all right? Because the commitment level is not there. He said something I loved saying, by the way. His name is Jamie Dixon or something like that. And he said, there's no hustle. There's no scramble. There's no, they don't have that entrepreneurial drive. They don't care that much one way or another. I can't have people around me like that, right? So this is all very interesting. And we got a lot of companies that need employees right now, and there is a major rift between what the managers think and what the employees think. And by the way, one way to change all that is social responsibility. Obviously these younger workers, they want to get paid well and so on, but they also have a sense of compassion, empathy, responsibility, and they'd like to have an employer that does something for people that lack funds, or they're unable to do certain things because of physical or mental disability, whatever it is. And we could go on and on about that. But the bottom line is today's Gen Z in particular wants an employer that cares about the community and does real significant things for people that need help and can't even get a job, much less earn money. So there's a lot of dissent out there. I mean, think about the office industry, huh? What about the office furnishings industry? What are they doing exactly? Well, if you talk to them, I mean, they'll say, well, we're just waiting for somebody to call us so that we can go over there and assemble some nice looking desks and maybe put up a little panel there in their office and so on. But that's not even close to what the situation demands. And I've been involved in this for some time. If you start talking about the workforce and the psychology of workers and how they want to get together just to kind of hang out and trade ideas and chat a little bit, and then the real hard work gets done back home. Well, this just blows the mind of many of the department heads, supervisors, and HR people. And yet they really have no choice. They have to dress up the offices, and then, of course, many times there's nobody there. And they're looking at each other saying, are we doing the right thing? How do we do this? All right. So this is WowBiz Nebraska. I'm sharing some hard-won insights with you, and I'm excited about hearing from you because there's so much going on in our world right now, and there's a lot of transition, a lot of change. I say we need kinetic companies. That's how I describe companies that can go with the flow, move with whatever's going on in the culture and in the industry and across the state of Nebraska. A lot of things happening, and you'll find them all out and a deep discussion about them right here on WowBiz Nebraska. My name is Lynn Hinderaker, and again, don't miss our show. John Fullerton is usually with us. He's always got great insights about the future of business here in the state of Nebraska. We look forward to seeing you again. Thanks so much for watching.